The jungle glowed with an otherworldly light, casting an eerie yet mesmerizing glow over everything. The bioluminescent plants created a surreal landscape where every leaf and petal seemed to pulse with life. It was as if the entire forest was alive, breathing in unison with the rhythm of the night. Big ferns had glowing spores on their leaves, illuminating the underbrush with a soft, ethereal light. These spores floated gently in the air, like tiny lanterns guiding the way through the dense foliage. The sight was both beautiful and haunting, a reminder of the delicate balance of life in this strange ecosystem. Strange shiny flowers bloomed in the dim light, their petals shimmering like jewels in the darkness. Each flower seemed to have its own unique glow, creating a tapestry of colors that danced in the gentle breeze. The air was filled with their subtle fragrance, a mix of sweetness and mystery that added to the enchantment of the scene. Weird chirps and clicks filled the air, the sounds of unseen creatures going about their nightly routines. The jungle was alive with activity, a symphony of noises that created an immersive soundscape. Each sound told a story, a glimpse into the lives of the inhabitants of this luminescent wilderness. This wasn't a jungle from Earth, it was an alien jungle, a place where the rules of nature seemed to be rewritten. The plants and animals here were unlike anything seen before, their bioluminescence, a testament to the unique conditions of this otherworldly environment. It was a place of wonder and mystery, a reminder of the vastness of the universe. Tall trees with glowing bark reached for a sky full of colorful clouds, their branches stretching out like fingers trying to touch the heavens. The sky itself was a spectacle, painted with hues of pink, purple, and blue, as if the very atmosphere was alive with color. It was a breathtaking sight, one that left an indelible mark on the soul. Sparkling waterfalls tumbled down cliffs, their waters glowing with an inner light. The sound of the cascading water was soothing, a gentle roar that echoed through the jungle. The waterfalls were like veins of light cutting through the darkness and adding to the magical ambience of the place. The air smelled like strange flowers, sweet and stinky at the same time. The fragrance was intoxicating, a blend of scents that was both familiar and alien. It was a sensory overload, a reminder of the complexity and diversity of life in this luminescent wilderness. Old, broken temples covered in glowing vines told a story of a lost world. These ancient structures, now reclaimed by nature, stood as silent witnesses to the passage of time. The glowing vines that adorned them added a touch of magic, as if the ruins themselves were alive, whispering secrets of a bygone era. It was a place of history and mystery, a testament to the enduring power of nature. Sergeant John Riley held his gun tight and crept through the plants. He was alone, lost far from Earth. His ripped and dirty clothes didn't help much in this strange place. He looked around, scared. A twig broke. He turned fast, gun ready, and saw two figures. They looked like people, but their skin was dark blue and their eyes glowed. Glowing tattoos covered their arms and faces. They held strange curved knives. Riley froze. The jungle around him was alive with an eerie glow, the bioluminescent plants casting strange shadows. He could hear the distant calls of unknown creatures, their sounds echoing through the dense foliage. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat a reminder of the danger he was in. Should he shoot? Should he run? The questions raced through his mind, each one more urgent than the last. He had never encountered anything like this before. The jungle seemed to pulse with a life of its own, and he felt like an intruder in a world that was not his own. The taller woman made clicking and whistling sounds. They were rhythmic, almost musical, and Riley couldn't help but be mesmerized by them. It was as if she was speaking a language that the jungle itself understood. The sound seemed to calm the creatures around them, and the tension in the air lessened slightly. The other woman touched her arm, looking worried. Her eyes darted around, scanning the jungle for any signs of danger. Riley could see the fear in her eyes, and it mirrored his own. They were both on edge, unsure of what would happen next. Riley lowered his gun a little, but his finger stayed on the trigger. He didn't want to appear threatening, but he also couldn't afford to let his guard down. The jungle was too unpredictable, and he had to be ready for anything. He had to talk to them. He pointed to himself. "Riley," he said, hoping his voice wouldn't scare them. He tried to keep his tone calm and steady, but he could hear the tremor in his own voice. "Riley," he repeated, more firmly this time. He needed them to understand that he wasn't a threat. He needed to find a way to communicate with them, to bridge the gap between their worlds. The women looked at each other. There was a silent conversation happening between them, one that Riley couldn't decipher. He could see the hesitation in their eyes, the uncertainty, but there was also a glimmer of hope, a possibility that they might be able to understand each other. The tall one stepped forward. "We're the Sylvans," she said, her voice pretty like music. It was soft and melodic, and it seemed to resonate with the very air around them. Riley felt a strange sense of calm wash over him as she spoke. "This is Lyra," she pointed to her friend. "I am Ilara." Her introduction was simple, but it carried a weight of significance. Riley knew that this was just the beginning of their journey together, and that the jungle held many more secrets yet to be uncovered. Ilara said her people used to live peacefully on this planet, but something bad had come, hurting the land and animals. They were hunted and had to hide. Riley listened, not as scared now. "The darkness," Ilara said quietly, "it likes sound, light, and living things. It's hunting us." A low growl echoed through the jungle, making Riley shiver. It sounded mean and hungry. "We must go," Lyra said, her hand on her knife. "It hurt us." Section 5. Strong together. They ran through the glowing plants. Riley, a trained soldier, shot at the enemy. The women fought beside him with their glowing knives. They worked together, each one helping the others. The dark creatures were fast and dangerous, their shapes changing in the shadows. But Riley, Ilara, and Lyra didn't give up. They fought bravely, wanting to live. They were a strange team. A human soldier and two alien warriors brought together by luck. Section 6. The Unknown. Days and nights passed. The group wandered through the bioluminescent jungle, their path illuminated by the soft, eerie glow of the plants around them. The nights were long and filled with the sounds of unknown creatures, while the days were spent navigating the dense foliage and trying to find sustenance. Each step they took was a step further into the unknown, a journey that tested their resolve and their unity. The only light came from the glowing plants and Riley's gun. The bioluminescence provided a surreal beauty, but it was also a constant reminder of the alien nature of their surroundings. Riley's gun, with its faint glow, was both a tool of protection and a beacon of hope in the darkness. It was a symbol of their determination to survive, no matter the odds. Food was hard to find, and they didn't sleep much. The jungle was unforgiving, and every day was a struggle to find enough to eat. The group scavenged for edible plants and hunted small creatures, but their efforts often felt futile. The lack of sleep took its toll, leaving them exhausted and on edge. Yet, despite the hardships, they pressed on, driven by a shared goal and the hope of finding a way out. But they learned to trust each other. In the face of adversity, the group grew closer. They relied on each other for support, both physical and emotional. Trust was built through shared experiences and the knowledge that they were all in this together. Each member of the group brought their own strengths and skills, and together they formed a cohesive unit that was stronger than the sum of its parts. They shared everything and helped each other in this strange world. Resources were scarce, but they made sure that everyone had enough to get by. They took turns keeping watch at night, ensuring that everyone got at least a little rest. In the quiet moments, they shared stories and memories from their lives before the jungle, finding comfort in the familiarity of each other's voices. These moments of connection were a lifeline, reminding them of their humanity in an otherwise alien world. One night they found an old temple, hidden by glowing plants. The discovery was a turning point in their journey. The temple, with its ancient architecture and mysterious carvings, was a stark contrast to the wild jungle around it. It was a place that seemed to hold secrets and perhaps even answers to the questions that had plagued them since they first entered the jungle. It was huge, with carvings on the walls. The carvings depicted scenes of a civilization long gone, a people who had once thrived in harmony with the bioluminescent plants. The group explored the temple, their curiosity piqued by the intricate designs and the sense of history that permeated the air. It was a place of wonder, but also of sadness, as they realized that the civilization that had built it was no more. This was a place of learning, of peace, Ilara said sadly. Her voice echoed in the vast chamber, filled with a sense of loss. The temple had once been a beacon of knowledge and tranquility, a sanctuary for those who sought to understand the world around them. Now it was a relic of the past, a reminder of what had been lost to time and the encroaching darkness. Now it's a home for the darkness. The once vibrant temple was now shrouded in shadows, its halls filled with an eerie silence. The bioluminescent plants that had once brought light and life now cast long, ominous shadows. The group felt a chill as they realized that the darkness Ilara spoke of was not just physical, but a creeping sense of despair that threatened to consume them all. Yet, even in the face of this darkness, they knew they had to press on, to find a way to bring light back into their world. Section 7. Brave Hearts. They went into the temple slowly, weapons ready. The air inside felt heavy. Strange symbols glowed on the walls. The growls were louder, closer. The darkness was coming. They were trapped. "We have to fight here," Riley said. He found places to hide behind the old stones. Ilara and Lyra stood next to him, their knives glowing. The creatures attacked, waves of darkness, their shapes changing. Section 8. Never give up. They fought all night. Riley's gun fired, the sound echoing. Ilara and Lyra fought fiercely, their knives like lightning. They fought until they were tired, until their weapons felt heavy. Just when they thought they would lose, sunlight came through a crack in the ceiling. The creatures screamed and disappeared in the light. The darkness was gone, for now. Section 9. Bright Hope. Tired but happy, Riley, Ilara and Lyra came out of the temple. They stood together, their faces lit by the rising sun. They had faced their fears, worked together and won. The glowing jungle wasn't scary anymore. It meant hope. They were strong together. They didn't know what would happen next, but they would face it together, a human and two alien warriors, friends forever. Their adventure in the glowing jungle had just begun.